Friends, I'm excited to be here with the new Suqqu Spring Summer Collection for 2025. A few things. I was about to film with Sonia G's mini buffer, but then I stopped myself because UPS arrived. And also, another apology, I sound terrible, but I wanted to get on here and forewarning, you probably were already listening to me at speed. You probably have to speed this up 2 times because I will speak a little slower. My throat doesn't feel great, but that doesn't mean we can't crack into the Suqqu makeup, okay? As I was saying, I was about to film with the mini buffer. I'm aware that it is out of stock, but I still wanted to get on here and share all the demos and examples with the different makeup. But I had to stop myself and get into the Suqqu because I was waiting. And shout out to Suqqu Europe for sending some PR. Not the entire collection, it is quite broad, because in this new spring summer collection, Suqqu is debuting their new velvet fit lipstick formula. Around the same time last year, Suqqu launched their moisture glaze formula that I just fell completely in love with, enamored to the heavens. And now we have the new velvet fit. So I just wanted to quickly bring you through the footage of our unboxing, and I requested 1 signature quad, the limited edition one, of course, 3 velvet fit shades in lieu of the nuance eyeliner, which I had asked. It's okay, I'll make the swap, because it was either 1 eyeliner or 2 shades. I'm like, I'll get the 3 shades over the liner, and 1 of the blurring blush shades, both of which are limited. Balancing soft matte textures with a silky radiance, the latest color collection from luxury Japanese brand Suqqu is inspired by the delicate intensity of Hanakoboshi, traditional Japanese folding screens depicting the beauty of spring landscapes and florals on shimmering gold and silver leaf. The collection includes brand new lipstick format, introducing the new Suqqu Velvet Fit lipstick, as well as expertly curated new shades of brand favorites. Together, the products work in harmony to create an elegant and elevated springtime look, and this collection is launching on January 23rd at Selfridges and February 6th at Harrods and Liberty London. I have the Suqqu foundation on as prep, and as you saw the footage roll, I can't contain my excitement. This is such a beautiful collection, and I wanted to capture the powders untouched so you can see the mold of, let me see if I could attempt this again, of the Hanakoboshi, which is just beautiful how they were able to capture that design in the blurring blush specifically. And I had to grab the limited edition quad because the permanent quad, let me grab my notes here. Number 14, Yukohaku, is not limited, so it is possible later in the year it could go on sale, and if I still have my eye on it, maybe I'll grab it. The nuance eyeliners 05 Cinnamon is a not limited shade, beautiful rich cinnamon color that I think will be fun for the eyes, but because I don't wear liquid liner often, I decided to not request it. But 112, the grayish moss, is a limited shade, and I can understand the appeal behind it because it does have that pastel look on it, and I think it will be lovely paired with a shadow on the lid and then that grayish moss on the lash line. Beautiful combination. We have the blurring blush shades, both are limited edition. 106 Seishuku is an apricot pink and a sheer pistachio, and you probably suspected that I picked that one. I didn't. I chose 107 Yumewasure, the mauve rose and shell pink. There was something about that tone that I was enchanted by and was curious, would it appear frosty, cool tone, maybe too cool tone pink? And we have now arrived at the velvet fit. Oh my goodness, what a lovely lipstick product that Suqqu released in this collection. 10 permanent shades, but 2 limited, and I chose 3. I had to forego the nuance liner because my goodness, I chose 01 Baranagomi, the milky warm cinnamon with yellow undertones. Surprise, surprise. The second one was tough because there are a lot of red tones in the lineup that are just beautiful, but I decided to go with 08 Seishuku, a tea red. We had to go with the tea red. 102 On the pamphlet, Kozueboshi, it says radiant gold glitter, but this is like a plum brown base with the gold glitter. And I think there's a photo on the Suqqu official website. I'm not entirely sure. You have the 2 limited shades off to the side and then the 10 shades, permanent ones on the other side, indicating the difference, and also indicated by the triple number versus the double digit one. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, ooh, this is pretty. And the traits that we are looking for in this new velvet fit is the velvety sheen that's left behind, the diffused matte look, color payoff, or rich color payoff, I should say, while feeling moisturized, and creamy texture. Now we'll get into the comparisons to the sheer matte lipstick, which I can't recall when that debuted, but I immediately thought of that formula when Velvet Fit hit the scene, and I can't wait to try them all. So again, thank you Suqqu Europe for sending. I cannot wait to get into these swatches. You saw the quick swatches during the unboxing, but I'll do another round here with this lighting because my camera was a little dark, or the lighting for that pickup was a little dark. So now that we've gotten those details out the way, it's time for you to come in a little closer. That's enough. We gotta get into the velvet lip. I'm sorry. We're gonna get into that first, the blush, and then the eyeshadow. Here is the lipstick case that you will have to buy separately. And I know, but because they're refillable, you don't have to buy more of these if you choose to purchase more shades. It's like the moisture glaze setup, which I think is great. If you want to purchase multiple shades, you don't have a bunch of the cases in your drawers or wherever you store your lipsticks, but you just have the refills. And this is what one of the refills look like for the velvet lip formula. And I have to go in first with 01 because the yellow undertone was appealing to me. Ooh, this is a first impressions. But I'm so excited, my goodness. So when I saw this for the first time, I recognized how application would be insanely easy because of the smaller lip bullet, obviously. But I was anticipating what Velvet Fit meant to Suqqu. What was the finish? How was the texture? Definitely creamy, and just based off the color, you can build it up. I think it sits around, I would say, lower than Sheer Matte. Sheer Matte, although named Sheer Matte, has a little more color payoff on the first swipe than the Velvet Fit. But this is just satisfying to apply. And I'm happy I picked the cinnamon shade. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to quickly pair it with Lisa's Shape and Sculpt in one end. Just for a little definition, if you're around my skin tone and you were eyeing 01 and you didn't know if it was gonna like drab you out, make you look dull, I think introducing, and I could even throw on 2N quickly here, I think introducing a darker liner with this shade is going to add a little more dimension. But the shade itself is absolutely gorgeous, and I can quickly compare this to the sheer matte color in 14. Do I have it here? Yes, I do. You could actually probably make a comparison to the texture. So the sheer matte is a little more matte, in my opinion, than the Velvet Fit. Again, it is incredibly satisfying to apply just because of the smaller lipstick bullet. You can maneuver around with ease and precision without necessarily having to rely on a mirror, because I know those instances happen where you just want to slap on your lipstick but you don't have a mirror, but you kind of feel around where the lipstick needs to go and you are successful with that application. And despite the velvet, or rather more matte texture, the lips don't feel dry. There is a nice slip to the application, but also a cushiony feel when the lipstick has been applied all over. Now going in with 08, the tea red. Oh my goodness. I knew I had to choose 08. I just knew it based off the photos, which was tough because the model is significantly lighter than I am. But I wanted to interpret the shades as successfully as possible and see how they could possibly appear on my skin tone. You can't go wrong with the tea red. And now that I'm seeing this shade, I'm taking back what I said about the color payoff. I think color payoff is probably on par with the sheer matte. However, this has a little more glide than the sheer matte. The sheer matte is a little more matte, whereas the Velvet Fit has a little more finesse on the application. But it is just incredibly comfortable. And to have this formula with this shade, I know can be intimidating, but because of the ease of application and the comfortable feel, the barrier of entry has been eliminated, in my opinion. I wouldn't mind throwing this on for like an everyday look. I have my brows on, I could forego the foundation and just throw on my tint cocktails that I have and call it a day. This is absolutely gorgeous. And there's no scent. There's not even a no scent on Suqqu lip products, which why they always find themselves at the top for me. I'm sorry. And there are lipstick products that I adore that have fragrance, like the Prada lip balms, but I'm always gonna choose the one without the scent to come out on top. That's just my bias. And last but not least, we have 102, the Radiant Gold Limited Edition shade. Oh my goodness, we went real grungy. And hopefully you were able to see the gold glitter flecks in the bullet in the close-up shot. And I definitely feel the gold. I mean, you could see that a little bit of that metallic finish. And although I can feel the particles, they don't feel rough on the lip. But because they're there, it does interfere a little bit with the application, simply because I think there's just a little more friction naturally with the inclusion of the gold glitter. I think it's a fun touch though, to have this just this plum matte base, which is what I'm classifying as. I could be totally off, you let me know down below. With the gold glitter, that's not bad. I think it definitely matches or coincides with the spring summer vibe of things. You could easily consider this fall, autumn, my favorite season, or even winter. It is very much fluid in that way. Now we gotta get into this blush. Oh my goodness, and a close-up shot, which unfortunately the powder has been marred, but we were able to grab a fresh shot with it untouched. But here is how the powder swatch looks like in this lighting, and it is time to see what this looks. I was picking up my phone, I'm so stupid. On the cheeks. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is pretty. I love it. I definitely have to build it up. In person, it's like a soft rose flush that I think fitting for every day. It doesn't have or how can I explain this? It's not intense in its color delivery. It's subtle, demure, but I like that because it allows me to combine it with other shades if I wanted, but it's not going to interfere with my eye look no matter what I choose to apply from the quad, which I like, because sometimes with pinks on me, it's so pink, it could appear so pink that it completely overtakes the look, and I will have to be more strategic with which shades I choose for my eyes. This shade, however, is subtle. It's subtle. You can build it up if you want, and I like to have that option. Also, because it's this gradient powder, you can easily use more of like that shell beige pink and place it higher on the cheekbones, and just tap your brush on the lower part of the pan and pick up more of that mauve rose color for the center of your face. Now we have to get in to these shadows, which, oh my goodness, you already saw the swatches in the unboxing portion, but we have to do them again because, ooh, that duochrome. There are actually two duochromes. One is quite quiet and the other is a little more robust. But here is a close-up of the quad, again, 144. This is limited, its counterpart is not. But check out this duochrome. Again, it's nothing like light scatters, right? But this is Suqqu version of a duochrome. It's very lightweight. It almost has a iridescent quality about it, but subdued. Here's the gold metallic second duochrome, which is a little more sparkly, and this gorgeous metallic wine. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it matches the lipstick. You know I'm gonna go in with that first family all over the lid. Okay, we're not even playing around. I have to pick up a brush that's going to grab as much product as possible and then proceed to blend it out. Using my Bobodo and Tuckahoe collab brush, I am first slapping on the entire lid. Ooh, something in me is driving the inspiration towards monochromatic wine. Can you tell? Because this shadow matches perfectly with this lipstick. My gosh. I'm not saying that you gotta buy any of this, but because this shade is limited edition, Suqqu doesn't play with the limited edition, okay? They don't bring anything back. I would wait until you buy more permanent shades and not go crazy on the first purchase. I would grab the limited shades first and just kind of wait for everything else. I know sometimes we want everything now, but if you love these tones, ooh, in fear of them never coming back ever again, I would prioritize 102. It was hard to tell from the photo. The second permanent shade was, oh no, it's not on here. I have to grab it on my email. 101 Yoikari, a shiny metallic taupe pink. So the pearl is pink, and based off the photo, the base probably is pink too. I'm happy I picked this one because I am totally biased towards wines over pinks. But if you love the pinks for the lipstick and that has the metallic pearl in there, ooh boy. Don't mind me, I'm just taking my time as I indulge in this shade and the application. And if it's your first time encountering Suqqu shadows, the metallic formula is incredibly buttery. The payoff is amazing, as you see, but look at how it diffuses, how it just appears soft and easy to move across the skin. Oh my goodness me. I gotta go in with this quiet duochrome because I think it would look quite lovely on the inner corner paired with the whatchamacallit, because even though the base is blue, the flip is pink. So naturally, when pairing it with the wine, that pink flip will come through more prominently. And that creates a really nice highlight. You could also, another consideration to make is to take the duochrome with your finger and then tap it on top. So now you have that icy finish across the lid if you wanted to add a little more pizzazz to the lid. But now we have to go in with this gold. The gold will probably appear not as smoky, obviously, if I applied it on the entire lid, but I don't know. I think I will love, this is what I want to do. I'll apply this duochrome that I tapped on my lid, but with my Bobo Chikuhodo brush, and just tap it here side to side, because I think we get really beautiful color payoff there. And something you can do is use the wine metallic as a liner, right? Shadow liner across for a little more intensity, or you can tap that color on the outer lids to create a little more smoke. I would like to now grab this bronzy gold shade and place it on the inner corner and whip it high through that arc and have it juxtaposed against the duochrome. I like this combination. This is pretty. And we'll follow up with that burgundy wine, okay? Because I'm going to slap that across the lash line just to have a little more definition there. And why not? Because the texture is incredibly easy to work with. Great pickup. No other than with my Sonia G smudger, or specifically T1. And I am carefully tapping first just to get that draft, and then I'll return with longer strokes. And this is really all up to you. You could stop right at the end of the lash line, or you could start to take it into a wing. Not required, but something I personally like to do. And because my wing angles are always off, I just have to take my time in ensuring that it doesn't look botched. We're doing okay so far. I mean, I did obviously make it a little chunky, but that's okay. I always miscalculate the degree of angle, but this is why I have a smaller brush on standby with concealer in order to erase and just clean up the base of my wing. Oh my gosh, it's too intense. It's too intense, family. I have to blend it down. I gotta blend it down. I gotta make it a kitty wing. because that's better. Whoa, that's better. We fixed it. We salvaged it. Taking the duochrome I applied on our first inner corner, but now placing it on the inner lower part of this eye. And just to complete the look, I mean, I can leave the majority of the lower lash line bare. It doesn't necessarily need shadow for the entire look to appear complete, but you most certainly are welcome to go in with shadow. I think not having shadow under the lash line amplifies what's going on top, so that's going to be my personal artistic choice. Okay, now that we have all the makeup on, let's apply some lashes and I'll be right back. And here are the close-ups after our round with the Suqqu Spring Summer collection with the new Velvet Fit lipstick, specifically in shade 102. This is a first impressions, and I went into this video excited because I had heavily anticipated the new Velvet Fit formula, and it did not disappoint. There is a part of me, yes, that will love all the shades, but that is hugely impractical. I just want to put that out there because last year I bought all the Moisture Glaze shades. Impractical. So I want to be more reasonable this year and be grateful for the opportunity that Suqqu has presented, asked for the PR, wanted to show you because listen, if you had this on your radar, as soon as Suqqu official showed the Velvet Fit, and you were like, oh my goodness, I need to see this in action. Well, hopefully this video helped you arrive at a conclusion. My opinion, again, Suqqu lip products are just goated. Everything from the color choice, the texture, and the intention behind the formula. This absolutely feels velvety, but for them to manage a velvety finish while the texture still remain creamy and comfortable on the lip, for it to have this level of color payoff still is just outstanding. And I have to say, because again, going back to the sheer matte is an exceptional formula, and I think my Dior video will have been up by this time, where I slapped on 14 and I had awarded the sheer matte lipstick in 2022 best lipstick of that year. I have to say the Velvet Fit, I like the Velvet Fit better. I do. I think it's creamier than the sheer matte. It's easier to apply because of the smaller lipstick bullet, and because of that, the deeper plummy red shades in like the second half of the 10 permanent shades, I think people will feel more inclined to try those tones where they wouldn't otherwise if it was formulated in a traditionally shaped lipstick bullet like the Lisa Velvet mattes, right? Lisa Eldridge Velvets are incredible, but because they're so intense, and also if you're not careful like me, I unfortunately have broken too many lipstick bullets, and I feel less inclined to use that lipstick because I'm afraid to break it, and the colors are just so intense that I have to be in a certain mindset for those shades. I have to kind of plan out the rest of my face. With the Velvet Fits, much like what I described with the Moisture Glaze, it doesn't warrant a full face of makeup, nor does it require that level of commitment. You could just throw it on and feel confident that it's not going to be too in your face because again, you have the control in your hands to dial up the color intensity or have it more diffuse. You could swipe back and forth if you want to increase that color payoff. But again, it's so easy to apply, and I'm happy they went with a smaller lipstick bullet. I understand the trade-off. Because it's smaller, it does have a higher risk of breaking. So make sure when you apply this lipstick that you don't dial it all the way up and apply it with this much from the component. I would apply a little lower. So just be wary of that. That's my opinion, because even if you dial up to here, that's more than enough lipstick required for you to cover your entire lip with a lot of color there, right? So, that doesn't mean I'm not lusting over the other shades. I'm holding back, right? But I just wanted to make sure I was able to request at least one limited shade from the Velvet Fit lineup. Again, the rest of the 10 shades are permanent, which means if any of those shades sell out, more than likely they will be restocked, as I've seen with several shades from their wrapping lip treatment. I can't even tell you how many times the clear pink was like in and out of stock All right, it's just one of those situations. So I'm sure Velvet Fit will go through similar circumstances. To the signature quad. Listen, that other quad, you can't go wrong with the rose tones, right? It's super basic but it's beautiful, right? Because the Suqqu shadows. I'm happy that I grabbed the limited edition, because even though this duochrome is subtle, and I bring up light scatters because I just uploaded that video, and I'm sure many of you are probably making that comparison in your head. They both play a role. But what I like about this is that when you apply it on your eyes, because in the pan it appears as a powder blue shadow, but it has that fluorescent pink flip that comes forward on the application. And I know it's tough to make out from camera, or on camera I should say, but you have just like this little peak of fluorescent pink either on the inner corner, or something you can do is apply this all over your lid, have that fluorescent pink take over, and then follow up with the burgundy wine along the lash line. That's another great combination, and I can come back here and show more, or maybe I'll just create a short using these shades again, but in a different combination. Whew, but this has to be one of my favorite Suqqu quads now. I have to go through my collection. Maybe I should force myself in choosing my top 5 favorite Suqqu quads. Oh, that is torturous, but I think it'll be a lot of fun because I might uncover old favorites that I completely forgot about. But this is a limited quad. You know, maybe you don't even like these shades and this is an easy decision for you. Maybe you don't like either of them and you're just skipping both. The blush, I still want that apricot shade. I do, and I know it's limited. There is a chance I could buy it on sale later this year, just like how I was able to do so with the blurring blush color from the holiday collection. And was it Miyabi? No, it was the winter collection, I believe. I managed to grab those limited edition shades successfully. But there's something about that apricot, man. That might be off the shelves. I don't know. I'm taking a chance. I'm risking it. But I do love this mauve rose hue on the cheeks, especially paired with the wine shades. It definitely has a spring-like effect on my face, despite me wearing these deeper tones, which could be mistaken for an autumn collection. I get it. But having more of this ethereal pink hue, but mauve rose, and having the beige too, because there is a pearl finish. It's not completely matte. Although the blurring blush formula when it first released, well, that's not true, because when it first released last year autumn, the formula had stated it's matte but with a little bit of pearl. I think so it has really nice blend on the skin, but also it won't appear flat, right? When polished, it does have a little bit of sheen left behind, so it's not completely matte. Just want to let you know if that's what you were expecting, because I'm not entirely sure if you can see through the screen, but there is a little bit of pearl here, right? I don't know if you can see that on the finger swatch. Definitely a little bit of pearl. I would liken this to like an hourglass powder for their cheek products, for their blush, and also their ambient light powder. That's kind of the effect this has. So especially if you whip this across the cheekbones, see how it naturally gives a soft glow highlight effect without the presence of a dedicated highlighter. That's something to expect, and I think exceptional, because you can actually pick up the lighter pink shade. I can do that here with a smaller brush and then use that for a highlight moment without using a dedicated highlighter. So that's a nice option to have. And that is it, family. I was just excited to receive this. And again, thank you to Suqqu Europe, not only for the opportunity, but for getting in here so fast. When Aya and I exchanged emails, it felt like yesterday that was like, yes, may I request this and this and this, and it arrived on my doorstep today. I felt like that all happened in one day. So thank you, Suqqu Europe. Thank you, Aya, for having this arrive promptly so that I'm able to share it with the fam so they have time to make a decision. Yes, not on everything, because I only have portions of the collection, but it gives us time to plan, because when it drops, you know how the Selfridges drops operate, okay? I don't know what time on the 23rd, but if you would like to secure some items, I would recommend that you email the Suqqu counter, but you will have to clear I believe is 150 USD purchase total to be eligible for free shipping. But kind of easy to do because of Suqqu. But if you're planning for that purchase, I wanted to get this video up ASAP, well before the 23rd. And yes, I would love to know what you think down below. And if you made it this far, consider liking the video. It helps me tremendously in letting know the algorithm that I'm worth watching and can continue to watch. Consider subscribing and hit that notification bell because I'll be back on here with more velvet fits down later in the year. So just commit. I promise it'll be worth it. And with that said, I'll see you in those comments and I'll see you on here next time.